Cool, cool. Had to make sure to put everything on Do Not Disturb. The way how my hotline be blinging. Hey everyone. Actually wanted to pin something down here just to get us shoot.
Okay. Oh, which one did I join from again? I don't know. Okay.
I think this was Cheyenne.
Okay, I got it. It's like, which one did I do? Um,
Actually, let me look right here.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, hey, hey! Finally, right?
For real.
To pin something down below so that people could follow the link at the end. Let me go on there right now. Come on in, come on in.
Hey. Hey, James. Long time no speak.
Come on in the room.
Well, thank you for coming.
Welcome, welcome. Just gonna pin this before we get started because I'm gonna refer to this link.
Hey.
Hey everybody. I'm just trying to type something.
Hey. I see what you mean about the comments popping up, but that's good.
Yeah. So I don't mind the comments. It's just like if it's a question, I can't.
Yeah. Hey, Jan.
Hey Michelle, thanks for saying your name. Because I can't tell. Goody hoo, everybody. All right, I'm gonna pin this. Can I pin this? Can I pin this? Yes. My IG live skills are kind of rusty. Hey, Kabrina, thanks for coming. Yeah, my IG skills are kind of rusty. Haven't used them since about this time, 2021. So please bear with me. Oh man, I'm gonna give you guys a couple more minutes to come in before I let some of y'all know why we here. Some of y'all don't even know why we here. So I'm gonna give y'all a couple more minutes. Thank you guys already. Thank you so much for the support, for giving us a little bit of your evening tonight. Definitely don't take that lightly.
Much love. I appreciate you all.
Definitely. Thanks everybody. So we're gathered here today. I'm kidding. I'm lame like that, y'all. Y'all figure it out in a couple of minutes. So we are here to talk. So first, let me, because some of y'all don't even know who I am. So my name is Tanique Somers. This is Cheyenne Bell. We are here to talk about the poetry collection, The Mischief of Love. I somehow wrote it. And in that process, I met Cheyenne Bell through Audible. She was my English narrator, and God so have it that she's a fellow believer, and she was just the perfect fit for this book, and we kind of hit it off. And I was like, I ain't letting you go.
The love is mutual. The love is mutual.
So, I didn't want you guys to not experience her. I feel is also an integral part of this book. As much as I was the writer, she gave it a voice as well. So I wanted to share her with you guys. So this is why we're here. We're gathered here today to speak about not only the collection itself, which, y'all gonna have to get that book, but also experience her in the audiobook and to see how she brought this thing to life. Because usually a poetry book is you're not gonna hear a voice reading it to you, right? But I loved, and I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here. I loved how she made it her own. I was just saying it to her, like that was what. Again, I'm getting a little ahead of myself here. That was what got
Thank you.
us
Thank
together. It was just like, yo, this girl wrote my book. Like,
you.
so that is really why we're here. I wanted to give you guys a BTS of the production process, just to experience her as much as you get to experience me, the author. I just feel like she was just an important piece, as an important piece of the book, as much as I was the one that wrote it. So yeah, so we're just gonna have a genuine conversation. You guys are more than welcome to use the question box at down below. We're gonna figure out how to access that too. But we do welcome your questions as well. Follow the conversation, innocent plug, hopefully by the end of this conversation, you guys gonna run over and get that audiobook and also
Yeah.
the printed version. Yeah, definitely. Honestly, she added some sparkles to that book.
I thank God for that. That was him. That's all I can say.
Literally,
I wear
glory
that.
to honor to God. For real, for real, for real, for real. And I remember right before, spoiler alert, right before she was about to do the final like read through, and I was like, girl, pray. Pray if you have to. But you got it. You got it.
I needed that. I definitely needed that moment of prayer because I was a wreck trying to do it. I was such a mess. I was like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna do this? But once you said that, and I was like, oh, duh, talk to God, duh. and then and then that was the piece that came together, the final piece that is out there now.
And that's the funny thing about it. I think sometimes this is a little bit of a tangent, but sometimes we leave God out of these little moments. We think that we got it. We don't. I got it. I can read a book. I,
That's
I did my ABC.
valid too.
I got this. And and those little moments is sometimes just those little trivial moments is just that little extra thing that we need is a little bit of Jesus. And that leads me to the first question. Um, in your After you read through the book and everything, how would you summarize the poetry collection in your mind, like in your perspective? How would you summarize it? I'll summarize it from my perspective, but what was your take on it?
I would definitely say that it's almost like in your I feel like it was the preface where you were talking about the many faces and phases of love, and I feel like that is a great, you said it best as to describe what it is, and it talks about different parts of it, different things people experience. I feel like there's a piece, each poem there's a piece that somebody can relate to, whether in the past or currently. So I feel like it shows your heart. It shows where you were in that particular moment of your life and whatever inspired that piece. So I would just say it's just think about the different sides of love, the pretty sides and the not so pretty sides of love, and depending on who was the influence at the time, and is like how the love came about. And that's, I feel like you capture that very well in how you wrote it. And it was very easy then to bring a voice to it, to bring it alive, because I was like, oh, I feel like I've experienced that. And maybe not in a romantic sense, but maybe like in a friendship or family members or something, where it was still relatable in the sense that that was a love that I had or lost, or whatever, in whatever case it is, depending on which poem you're referring to.
True, true, and like in a succinct way, how I would describe it is the good, the bad, the ugly of love. Like that, because we talk about, and that's why the title is the way it is. Because it's mischievous. It could be good. It could be nice. It's kind of love to me is kind of like a Sour Patch Kid. It's like it's sour. It could be sweet. It sneak up on you. You're like, oh, that was, oh, it was, oh, that was a little sour. Ooh, I feel a little sugar coming on, and that's how love can be. And if we're really honest with ourselves, it can sneak up on you sometimes. The good part and the bad part. You're like, this was going so good. What do you want to run and go and do that for? So it really, that's why this came up the way it did. And that is a really good point. So I kind of said this earlier, how we met, after I did production, completely published the book. Some people are like, but I don't really read like that. I need a little audio book. So I'm just like, all right, fine. So I only spent about 2 days looking for an Audible narrator. I wasn't finding an English speaking one. It was really hard. The Spanish one, it was like a matter of hours. But English speaking was really hard. Nobody was picking it up. So I started sending out the like a request. But yeah. So I could ask you, like, how did you get into narrating?
So that I was thinking a lot about like how to explain that, how I ended up into narrating, because it wasn't, it was almost like I woke up one day and I was like, oh, you know what, actually maybe I should go into narrating, like on the side, because I heard about it before and somebody had sent it to me before, and then it was brought up, like my dad sent it to me again, like maybe a month or two before I actually did it. So then I was just like, you know what, that day when I auditioned for your book, I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna do it. And I kind of just woke up that morning and I did it and I put it out there, and I was like, I had no idea if I was gonna get any yeses or anything. Yours was the first book that I auditioned for. And so, and I was just like, I just thank God, because you're the first book and then the first yes. And I was just like, yay. And that was just kind of how it started. It was really kind of on a whim, but it kind of was like playing in the back of my mind, kind of.
Mm, got you. So how was the audition and like your first impression of me and the script? Like, how was that for you?
I I didn't realize it was a poetry book when I auditioned. When I read the poem "Joseph, Did You Know?" and that's what you had there, I thought it was just like the back cover, and that
Mm,
was just gonna be what the book was about. I had no idea it was a book of poems until you after you had offered me the role. So when I read it, I was like, oh, I love this. I was like, this is going to be great. I love the story of Joseph and Mary. And I was like, this is going to be a beautiful retelling of like the birth of our Savior and all of that. So that's where my mind was at. And I was like, yes, this is great. I was like, I want a Christian book and this is everything. And then once I realized it was poetry after the fact, I was like, oh, this is even more fun, kind of. I've always loved poetry. I used to write a lot when I was younger. So it kind
mm,
of spoke to my heart in that way. And with you, I was just like, I wanted to pick your brain. So like the way you put it together, the way you piece the key highlights of like the nativity story and everything and how you put it in there. I was just like, this is the person I want to know. Like that's how I felt. I'm so glad I was able to connect actually uh, when we met that first time on the phone to just kind of talk about how you wanted it to be produced. And then we just created this bond. Well, I think God did that, but like, and
yeah.
now
Definitely. I was just like elated. The way how you read it, I was just like, this is it. This is it. This is it. I was excited. Absolutely excited. I was like, I don't gotta look no further. I remember I did say, I'm gonna think about it, I'm gonna ponder, see
you
if there
did.
was another one. And I remember that was like Friday night and I was at church all Saturday, just like, nah, she the one. She the one. I don't got it. Well, I'm trying to play hard to get. Like, like this is it. I remember
That's
just coming home like, man, that's it. All right, that's it.
not
I don't.
how I saw it at all though. When you said you were looking at other ones, I was like, that's perfectly fine. I'm like, because I'm an amateur, I've never done this before. So I didn't take it any kind of way. I was like, okay. And I was just keeping auditioning. So it didn't bother me at all. I didn't take it any kind of way. What
I
do
was
you
man. You know what it was too? I had gotten spoiled on the Spanish one. It was just like, oh, we're a team. We do this. This is what we do for a living. We're actors. Da, 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 da. And I'm like, oh, okay. What? And I got kind of lost in the sauce a little bit. But then I don't know what it was. You're like, this is my first one. I was like, I'm gonna give you a shot. Ain't that wrong? We can make this happen. You know what I'm saying? So it I think it worked. And then what really got me was just, you're like, I'm a Christian too. I don't know what it was. It wasn't like that. It was something that you said. Something that kind of clued me or something. I think it was because you were commenting on the poem itself. I was like, oh, she a believer. I was like, oh, okay now. I was like, okay, maybe we can work with this. And I just remember thinking the whole day Saturday, like, nah, there's not gonna be another one. She's the one. Like, just stop playing. So it was definitely a blessing. I felt like blessed, and I did like how you read the poem and everything. So I guess the next best question would then be, then what would be your favorite poem of all, based on what you read. I'm
I
gonna try, honestly, myself. I'm gonna do that.
say just one because I had a couple favorites. I mean,
Not multiple.
I had a couple favorites, you know. I would say it's a tie between Joseph Did You Know and Rush Hour Love. I feel like because that one I love the ode to Romeo and Juliet, like you said. I thought that was really beautiful. So between the two of them, I have a hard time deciding. And there were some that I had a lot of fun with. Might not necessarily
Mhm.
be my favorite poem per se, but I had a lot of fun doing it. And I was like, oh, I get to try all these little tweaky things and all of that. So I would say those two would be like my top two. Like they tie for one. Although I should say Joseph Did You Know because it's talking about Jesus. So like you
Nah,
know.
bro, nah, and the Christian ass. And I'm not gonna play. Like, I purposely put that one as the script because it is my personal favorite, and it was actually the most recent one I wrote when I at the time that was published, because I wrote it in January, so it was literally like one of the freshest one. It is one of my personal favorites because I literally had to pray in order to write it, so it was pretty dope. I love um there was one that you did that made me almost love it because you performed it. The way how you performed it, I love it. I loved it more. It wasn't like my top favorite. Trying to remember which one it was. I liked how you did Heartbreak Season.
Oh yes, I was gonna say that one was my favorite one to
I
perform.
love how you did it.
So much fun.
Heartbreak Season. I was like, oh my god, what? Like, that was one of my favorite ones because of how you performed it. Um, yeah, that's like a spoiler alert.
Yeah,
But
that one. I don't know where that came from. I definitely have to say that probably was a God. That was definitely a God idea. But I had so much. That was my favorite one to perform. I
it
will.
was the one that you did, and it was a completely different accent. Like, you was just acting.
Oh, that's probably Blessed Be. Because I remember that one. That one I had a nice little accent that I don't know where that came from either. But
But the thing is, like I was saying, hey, the thing about it is not that you had an accent, is that you sustained it throughout. Because you could have, pretend to have an accent, but you can't necessarily sustain it. But you did, which was like,
oh,
oh,
I've had practice doing that. I or in like real life, once at work, I put it on just because I was
just
bored.
making it more fun.
Yeah, so that one was easy to do.
Yes. I really love those. Rush Hour Love is one of the best because it actually happened to me. And it's like I told you. And so sometimes when I read it, it's like I'm replaying that scene because I'm like, I know that will never happen again. But boy, did I have to write it because no one would have believed me if I told someone that this happened in real life.
It's
So
like a movie. I could see them making a short film out of it. Because when I read it and then when you told me it was real life, I loved it even more. So that's why it became one of my top favorites. Because of that, because it was really real.
it was real. It was real, child. You can't. Well, I guess you can make this up, but it it was real. It was real. What was the easiest and the hardest part of production for you?
I think not I think I would say it was continuity, keeping the same tone or what have you throughout and making sure my sound was there. And then I'm a bit of a perfectionist. So then if I messed up on one little thing, then I have to do the whole thing all over again. So
Ah, well, I can tell you if you listen to the sample of the audiobook, the Rush Hour Love is the sample. I can give you that much. But we'll think about it.
I could do that for a live audience. So I think would kick in and all of that. I don't know if I'm there yet, to be honest.
I'm still working on my performances. I don't know if I can either. Man. For
That,
me,
mm,
the hardest part about production was when it was through and waiting for Audible to give us the go ahead. That was the longest. I think it was 2 weeks, wasn't it?
yes, it was a while, but I was okay with that too because I was really nervous for it to come out because I was like, you know what, maybe I didn't do a good job. Maybe they won't like it. We have to do everything all over again. I was second guessing everything. So when you text me to tell me, I was like, oh my gosh, it's like my heart dropped. I was like, oh wow.
Oh no, 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 no. For me, I think because I had the first experience with the Spanish version where it was like maybe 4 days or so. So I'm like, why is it taking so long? Like, but I figured, well, there's probably more books going out in English, so maybe that's why it's taking longer. But I was not pleased why it was taking so long. Like, hurry up! I got people waiting on me. Um, the easiest was just or us being able to speak and to iron out things. It was very easy. You're not you didn't give me first time narrating vibes at all. So it
Thank
was
God.
very it was very easy to get this done. It wasn't a long process at all with you. So the longest and hardest part was actually dealing with Audible, but they definitely facilitated a lot more other things. So I would do it again in a heartbeat for sure. Um, I guess my last question, and if anybody else, if you guys have any questions for us, go ahead. You can start, drop it in the comment box or the where that bubble is with the question mark. What would you want the audience to know while listening to the audiobook?
I would say come in with an open heart to just listen and receive the words of Tanique and how she was feeling in that moment. I almost want you to like close your eyes and really sit there and listen, like immerse yourself in that experience, I would say, because that's kind of how I performed it. I kind of just went into it and became that particular poem in that moment and really tried to grasp what I felt you were feeling in that moment and then to portray it. And then when I went back and listened to it, kind of the same thing. And I would close my eyes and kind of listen. And then I was reading along just to make sure I didn't make any mistakes while doing it. But that's kind of what I would say. Just kind of enjoy the experience. It's not long, but I feel like it's impactful. It'll
Yes.
you. It'll warm
Yeah.
your heart.
Thank you so much. It was exactly 24 minutes, guys. Like, and of awesomeness because I myself, like when she sent me the final production, and thank you, Liberty, I did see your question. I'm gonna answer. Um, when I heard it, that's exactly how I listened to it, half sleep with my eyes closed, pressing play, and I I remember just half sleep, especially when I heard Blessed Be and Heartbreak Season. I remember just chuckling to myself like, oh, awesome. And like experience it. And this is why I kind of want to tell people, get both. Get the book, the physical copy or the ebook, and get the audible book and experience it.
Yeah.
Um I even made playlists and things to go with this because I really feel like it can be an experience. Because just to answer your question, Liberty, when I wrote I was experiencing something. You know, it was either um about to go through a breakup or just went through a breakup, or there were moments I was just inspired by love, like love in its purest form. Sometimes, to be honest with you, there are times I write, um, they say, speak things as though they are. Sometimes I write things as though they are. So maybe I'm not, it's, guys, you can't listen. Spoiler alert, the next book. Yeah. Um, I already I'm already halfway through for the next book. But like, why I write, what inspired me a lot of times, thinking about what a perfect love looks like. And I'm not talking about the human, fallible, messed up,
Yeah, human
just
can.
selfish love that we got going on down here. But a lot of times I'm trying to picture what God's ideal relationship should look like. And so when I'm going through these situations, I'm just looking at how off I am, or how much I aspire to. So when you see, for example, the preface, I say I'm a hopeful romantic, because I'm not one that has given up, or I'm not one that feels like, because I've had all these breakups and there ain't no love for me, or there is no love, or there's something wrong with love. No, we are fallible people, and we are people who are still need to understand what love really means. And so the book is really a journey of me learning and unlearning things. And I think the next book is showing that I'm getting closer to understanding what love is really all about, and it's getting to a place where it shows that it's about self-denial, it's about sacrifice, it's about um, putting someone else before yourself. So in these poems, it shows more of the hurt, when things don't go how you expect it. When you give up, or when you put expectations on people that you should probably only have on God. There was a poem that I had that hard realization. You would see some of it may seem like that's a little toxic. That's probably because I was in a toxic place. So it does, some of these poems are not because I believe that's what love is about. It just shows, the learning and unlearning that I was going through. So yeah, that in a nutshell is what inspired me. I love love. I'm not an anti-love. I'm not an anti, picketing outside, like I hate love. No. I'm definitely a hopeful romantic. But I'm definitely learning what true love is supposed to look like. And my model of that is my creator. So as you will see, as you follow me in this journey, the poems will start to reflect that more. And that is why the Joseph poem is so pivotal, because it's like I finally got a little bit more of a better understanding of what it's supposed to look like, and what it's supposed to feel like.
Yeah.
And that's why I felt like that particular poem was like a download, straight out from God. Because when I saw what Joseph really did, like he put his life on the line, in a culture that was so anti, um, that was so anti a lot of things, to be honest. But his it was anti a lot of things. But when Joseph had to put away his pride, had to put away a lot of things just to protect his now future bride, that he have no parts in making her pregnant. Um, but he still made preparations. He still sacrificed himself, sacrificed a lot of things to make sure that this family was safe. You know what I'm saying? So I had a new appreciation, not only for Joseph, but for the men in our lives, that
Mm.
the men who are actually honoring God by being in their rightful place. So I'm highly now finally getting to a place where, when we grow up, and especially when you grow up in a single mom house, a single parent household, you get to a place where you're just like, I can do it, I don't need no man, and that's the rhetoric that you have. But
That makes
when you,
sense.
I'm getting off on a tangent, but when I really look at the story, it really helped me to understand the role and how it's supposed to be. Not necessarily right, wrong, but the ideal structure. And looking at that family, hey, that family was low key ghetto. You know what I'm saying? That was Jesus's stepdad. It was like a blended family, teen
Yes.
mom. So it was very current and modern, and it gave a lot more grace than people talked about. So I really, really, really love that poem because it it guys, check out the YouTube video I made for it, because it really showed up as what a current modern family could look like even in this sinful world. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I really thank God for that particular poem. It means a lot to me. Um, just because of God showing us that he can still make happy marriages, he can still make happy families, even in our world today, as it is. So,
Yeah.
yeah, this is the journey I'm on, seeing how God can revolutionize our relationships, not just our romantic relationships, our look at this relationship that blossomed over a
I
business
know.
transaction. This is God, you know what I'm saying? So we need to learn how to bolster each other, how to carry each other's burdens. And that is basically what is coming up in the new content that I'm working on. And so I wanted to start with these, get these off my chest, so that you guys can see the evolution of my understanding, of my learning and unlearning of what is love and what isn't. um that's what it is, because a lot of us, we get kind of stuck in the miseducation of love. That is not the title of the next book, but if you come into the book release, maybe you can get a hand in the titling of the next project. But that is what this is all about. It's not about glorifying a particular type of love per se, but the learning and unlearning. What is love? What is real love? What is true love? Um, what is toxic love? The slavery of love is probably what showed. You
Yeah.
saw that last line, like, if I get away, don't come looking for me.
Yeah.
That one, I love the honesty in that one. That one's my favorite because of the honesty. Like, listen, I've been trying to get away from you. God knows I have. It's given color
Yeah.
purple. Um, but listen, if I get away from you, by God, don't come looking for me. Don't come looking for me. And when I tell you, I still remember who that poem was for.
Well, praise the Lord. We're gonna
I'm
let
still
that
free.
go.
I'm still free. I'm still free. Glory to God. I am
Yeah.
still free. God is good. So some of this is a lot of the poems. To be honest with you, I can confess to you guys here. We can talk, right? Um, I
Absolutely.
never wrote with the intention of publication. I'm gonna tell you that right now. That is the honest truth. Never wrote with the intention of publication. I never wrote with the intention of performing. So this happened over literally overnight. Literally in 2 nights, it was published. I would tell y'all why, but y'all don't even know all my business. But to be honest, I
Talk
never
about that
did.
later.
So it's gonna take me some time to get comfortable with a mic in my hand and all this stuff. But it was never ever written with the intention of being upfront and personal and sharing it. It was literally just cathartic. It was a skill that I learned when my teacher, as a teenager, saw me as a very angry teenager, and she just gave me a little tulip notebook and said, "Write, write," and it saved my life. Emotionally, it saved my life. Physically, because instead of um, the output being negative, I started to tunnel my negative energy, negative emotions into writing, and so I just kept them to myself and dealt with my emotions that way. And then eventually, as I got healed and worked through my things, I started to write it to be more flowery and cute, and these are the things and I wrote a lot of these poems in grad school. There were not things I wrote as a teenager or anything like that. So Yeah. So, guys, any more questions before I release you guys into the world of Amazon to go buy our
I have a question for you. I have a
cool.
question. um, so I personally just got the audiobook today, even though it's been for a little while, but I'm gonna go and actually listen to it myself. But I also have not gotten the book yet. And the reason why is because I want a signed copy. So how can I get a signed copy from you?
Okay. So for anybody that's on here, you guys, you can DM me, and send me your address or whatever if you feel comfortable there, or you can just DM me and then I'll just send you my email or something, and we could talk offline, and I will be more than happy to ship a book to you. I will definitely do that. I will sign it. I will send it to you. We can talk offline. Anybody. This is for anybody. I'm saying it now. This is going to be saved. Anybody that sees this after is for anybody. So DM me, hey, I want a signed copy of your book. I will definitely do that for you. No problem.
I love. You're gonna personalize it and everything too?
Absolutely. I'm going to do all that. Of course. Get my Johnny Hancock. It is not cute. I do not have a cute signature, but I will write it for you. I got a cute little gel pens. What color you want? I will definitely do that for you and for anybody else that's on here. Whoever watches this later, I will definitely do that. So just DM me, let me know, hey, I want a signed copy.
I love it. I love it.
Any other questions before we release you guys? I did pin my link tree below because all the links are there. The If you have never had Audible, there's a promo link below. Everything's in there. Everything's on the link tree. Everything. The paperback, the ebook, the audiobook, the iTunes playlists I made for these. Like I made iTunes playlists, instrumentals, non-instrumentals. I made There's a YouTube page, girl. Guys, everything is there. Everything is there in that
You
link.
deserve it all.
It's all there for you. It's all there. Click the link, save the link. It's all there. I'm here to serve. Here to serve. So, uh,
Oh, I
this is
love
fun, man. This is dope. I'm excited for where this is gonna go. Oh, before I forget, if you are in New York, March 26th is the official book release event.
it.
Official. It's going down. We're gonna have food. You're gonna hear it first. I will perform um an exclusive from the next project. So you want to be there. And you may get the opportunity to help me choose the title for the next event, the next book, excuse me, there as well. So come through. There is an RSVP link also in the link tree. Like I said, everything, all you need right here, right here. So please come through. RSVP is necessary. We have a limited capacity. So it's in Harlem, my generation church. It's on Adam Clayton. Um, the flyer is the first thing once you hit the link tree. But it's in Harlem. It's my church. And I want to shout them out. They are very supportive of me, and I can't like I don't even want to cry right now, but like they have really supported me in this process, and they're going to be hosting. So, and it's also their 5th anniversary as well. So it's going to be a high day, high day. So you guys are very much welcome to come through. I'll be book signing there as well. Performing, there'll be music, it's a party. Okay, come through. So you guys are all welcome. Thank you for sticking by. If you have any more questions before we release you to the world of Amazon to bless myself, Cheyenne, you know.
Yes. Thank you all so much for taking the time to listen. Really appreciate it.
Yes. Really appreciate all the support, guys. Thank you for stopping by. Um, it's been a wonderful journey. I do appreciate you guys for supporting Cheyenne, by coming through. All of you guys, thank you guys. Thank you, Cheyenne, for making this possible. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your service. Thank you. And thank you for really not taking it lightly and really taking full ownership of the task. It's been great and I truly enjoyed it. So I'm just gonna tell you thank you publicly.
It was my pleasure. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to bring your words to life, taking a chance on the rookie. Never done. So thank you.
Listen, you ain't no really mo about that.
I know. I have one.
You don't have to ask about you. Okay. You got it, man. This is awesome. And I'm definitely asking for your services for the next one.
I
Uh,
got
I purposely asked publicly.
I will do it. Let me know. You got my number. Blow up my phone. Let me know.
Real, real, man. I already got the content. I just want to double it for the folks. You know, I have just as much as I have in this book, but I want to double it. I want to do more. So yeah, so just be patient with me, folks. But we we
Listen,
we we come through. We coming through. So it's been lovely. Thank you guys once again for your time tonight. Don't forget, hit the link tree, search for the book, The Mistress of Love. I have a lisp, so bear with me. I'm going to say it again, a little more clear. The Mischief of Love, by Tanique Somers, and narrated by Cheyenne Bell. Now I get to say it.
yeah.
I get to say it. Yeah, so enjoy, guys. Get the
Thank you.
paperback.
Thank
Accompany it with
you.
the Audible. Is worth it. It's absolutely worth it. 24 minutes. It's worth it. It really just it's an experience. So thank you guys. I'm gonna let you go.
Good
Thank
night.
you. Good night, y'all.